Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is time for just a word from the Word. By the way, if you ever wonder why I always say happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, um, first of all, it's not because everything looming at me is happy and good. I say happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, baby Friday, and Friday because this is the day that the Lord has made. So let us rejoice and be glad in it. That's why I say happy whatever day. I don't know. Just thought I'd tell you. But happy Tuesday. It is time for just a word from the Word. Our passage this morning comes from the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 3, verse 1. I know that sounds really just random, doesn't it? But let's read it in the King James. Then Solomon began to build the house of the Lord at Jerusalem in Mount Moriah. Catch this, where the Lord appeared unto David his father. Catch where this is at. In the place that David had prepared in the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. If you remember, and if not, I'll remind you, David had sinned against the Lord in counting the people of Israel without being prompted to count. He was just trying to stick some feathers in his hat for how many people he had. His motives were wrong. He began to count the people, and God sent a prophet and said, "You're wrong, and you've got three choices as to the punishment that is about to take place: 3 months of famine, 3 years of being attacked and overruled by your enemies, or 3 days of pestilence from the Lord." David chooses to be under the hand of God, and he chooses the 3 days of pestilence. And some 70,000 people died in those 3 days. The hand of the Lord stopped the angel that was going around and destroying the people at the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. When David got there, because he was told that that was where things had been put on hold, David got there and talked to Ornan and um, said, "Look, let me buy your barn, let me buy this threshing floor, let me buy some oxen from you." There's a little bit of back and forth, but David said, "No, I must pay for this. I cannot sacrifice to God a cheap sacrifice." And so Ornan allows David to buy the threshing floor and to buy his oxen, and there David prepares an altar, an altar of sacrifice, an altar of surrender. There on the threshing floor of Ornan, he kills and offers um, the oxen as a sacrifice, and the plague was stayed in the land. That spot in Mount Moriah on the threshing floor of Ornan is where Solomon built his temple. It struck me one more time this morning going through Second Chronicles 3 that if David had not sacrificed there, if he hadn't surrendered there, you wouldn't have Second Chronicles 7:14. You wouldn't have Second Chronicles 6, where the glory of God came down in Solomon's temple, and it was so strong. The Shekinah was so thick that the priests couldn't even perform their duties. That would have never happened had there not been sacrifice first. You want to prepare for glory? Be willing to sacrifice everything you've got. Be willing to surrender everything you are. But when you do, when you really lay yourself down, as Romans 12:1 and 2 describes, you're preparing for glory. And not your glory, but the glory of God. And so this morning's just a word from the Word is this. Where's your place of sacrifice? What is the greatest thing that you've had to surrender to the Lord? Look out. Because if you've really surrendered, that's going to be a place where the glory of God can dwell. So if you feel like you've had to sacrifice a lot, hang tight. You'll see the glory of God, and the sacrifice will be worth it. Guarantee it. This has been just a word from the Word. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow morning.